Charicters on the front line through the battles and the pains, with a camera in the fray and the world on our screens. We're the voice of the silence, the witness of the scenes. Headlines flashing bright from the shadows, we arise with the truth in our hands under perilous skies. Every story told is a battle we fight. Through the darkness and the fear, we bring the light. In the chaos, in the flames, we'll stand tall, with the courage to reveal through the rise and the fall. From the embers of the war to the echoes of the call, we're the eyes of the world and we'll never stall. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. From the ruins and the wreckage, every story's told. Through the tears and the heartbreak, the bravery unfolds. In the darkest hours, when the world's torn apart, KLW brings the stories straight from the heart. With the cameras rolling through the wreckage and the pain, we capture the reality while the world remains. Every angle, every moment in the line of fire, we're the pulse of the battlefield, never to tire. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. Through the smoke and the ruins, we'll pierce the veil. With every breath we take and every tale, we're the heartbeat of the conflict in the shadowed frail. With KLW's vision, the truth won't fail. Stand firm, we're the beacon in the fray. Through the dust and the fury, we'll light the way. In the fight for the truth, where the heroes lay. KLW, the story's here to stay. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. So here's to the courage and the tales we unfold. In the heart of the conflict, our story's told. KLW, with the truth we hold. In the fire of the war, our legacy bold.
You can't handle the truth!
KLW World News coming to you this morning here. We've had 17 EAMs in just 70 minutes. That's 17 EAMs in just a little over an hour. That's pretty close to back to back. Now, we've had a couple interesting developments overnight. First is the fact that we had an E-11A flying in the Caribbean, and it continued to progress its way south towards Venezuela. Just a short time ago, we had an aircraft from the State Department left Venezuela. Hopefully we'll see that here. That just left from there, and there's been some other activity taking place in and around Venezuela. I'm not at liberty to go into that, but it doesn't look like it's over in the Caribbean, and we're going to continue to track that. Additionally, we have this P8 Poseidon operating out in the Black Sea. The interesting part about this is, well, they've been doing it without their transponder on. Now, we know that they have transponder coverage in this area for ADS-B. Why are they turning this transponder off while they're flying this pattern? So we're going to, again, continue to watch this, because we're continuing to see more and more of this as it goes forward, or as we progress into the conflict over there. So there's a lot going on. We're going to continue to monitor it. We're going to do that right here, and we're going to continue to do that here until just before 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific, because we have a class this afternoon for KLW World News members, and that will start at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific time. So hopefully you will join us for that. We're going to be covering a wide variety of subjects in this afternoon's roundtable, and we may give a little bit more information about what's going on here as we go through that. Also, overnight, the Russians have claimed that a general that was shot yesterday, well, they've figured out who it was, a 66-year-old man. They've already extradited him back. They claim he was working on orders for Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine denies that, but we're going to continue to give you more on that as we get more on that. We may have a guest appearance from Johnny on this afternoon's roundtable. That has yet to be determined, but we're seeing if we can make that happen. Also, I have an issue with the big antenna that we have here, not the big one, but the Zygu antenna here at the studio, so I'm going to be working on that for about the next hour to see if I can resolve what that issue is. And I need to send this out also to all of our members. Also, all of our members, everybody who's here, you need to subscribe to this channel. This will be our new primary channel. I love how the folks at Coffee Club have prevented the link from going out to the channel directly with YouTube. Not sure why that is, but I just did a link to the chat, or to this particular broadcast. So if you are not subscribed here, you need to be, because this is where we're going to be. We also have this as the, I've got it in ultra low latency. So now you guys should literally hear me seconds after I say something or do something within 2 or 3 seconds. So is that it'll be more like a conversation than I say something. Fry Goat, can I smurf you on this channel? I guess. There you go. So also remind me this afternoon, we've got several new things we're going to be doing. So we'll be talking about that during the class this afternoon. So get subscribed on this channel. It's just $3 a month. Yeah, and also, folks, yeah, keep the chat popping, okay? Right, GPS redundancy, exactly, Big. Exactly. So we're doing GPS redundancy. We're also doing a roundtable redundancy. It's a system I'm not thrilled with, but we're going to do it. So there's a lot of things that are going on. But keep the chat. Well, that's all right, Wonton. We're going to record it because we're not going to list individual frequencies for the KLW World News Network on this one, so we can record it. So, and we're going to be talking about the grand solar minimum. We're going to be talking about some more prepper stuff. We're going to be adding some more stuff to the KLW World News store. So we're going to have that stuff in there. There's just going to be a lot of great stuff this afternoon. I don't think anything's going to happen at the Super Bowl because we've got so much security there. ATAC system. Are you talking about the ATAC for the two-way radios? Is that what you're talking about? Bristol ball? I got a snow globe, man. It's got like Rudolph and shit in there. The Chinese 20 gigawatt microwave weapon is a lie. Yeah, we can just put the link in for the coffee club. So we're going to continue to track all this for you, give you real news in real time. Stand by. All right, folks, there's a lot going on. Again, 17 EAMs in 70 minutes, and there are no major military exercises taking place right now. So we're going to continue to monitor the situation. Also, we've got a class coming up. I need to get the link to the coffee club. It could kick off at any minute because the Iranians are continuing to tell the U.S. to go do themselves. So, if you want to get notified anytime we go live, that is easy. You can go there to the link that I just put into the chat. I'm going to pin that at the top. So go there and get signed up. It's just $10 a month, and it'll get you notified anytime we go live. We got somebody in here watching us from Missouri. So what's happening is the U.S. is sending tons, I mean thousands of tons of equipment over into the Middle East for a war we're prepared for. We are considering, we've sent over 150 cargo planes full of equipment over there. Down in the Caribbean, we've got an E-11A. This is a command and control aircraft that is flying orbits north of Venezuela. It did it all night last night. This is what you would expect to see right before a special operations event. There could have been special operations taking place last night. We don't know, but this is what you would see. This aircraft up on orbit to be able to link all of the different organizations together, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, everybody would talk through this single aircraft. We're watching additional aircraft, transport aircraft, fly in and out of Azerbaijan. Now, the interesting thing is they said that we couldn't operate out of Azerbaijan, but by God, we are operating out of Azerbaijan. I'm not familiar with Iraq having some of our bases surrounded. I do know that for defensive purposes, they moved troops in to protect the U.S. Embassy. So, where are you hearing that Iraq has our bases surrounded? I haven't heard that. What's your source of that, Patch? And Dirk, Israel has troops trained to do almost anything. Oh, it was on Tosi. Okay, well, yeah, I gotta be. I don't quote Tosi. Okay, we've had him on for a few things that we've shown you, but a few things that we've seen from Tosi that we haven't verified yet. So we will check into that for you. So no worries. We will check into that for you to see what we can find. We also have yet another KC-135R Stratotanker taking off out of Qatar. Also, we've been advised that 150 aircraft, and I'm going to say attack aircraft because that's going to include fighters, bombers, big bombers, all kinds of aircraft, jammers. We have 150 combat aircraft, not transport aircraft, combat combat aircraft operating in the area. All right, Charlie, I'll turn that down for you. There you go. So there's 150 combat aircraft operating, or have been moved into the area, I should say, is the correct way to put it. So we're going to keep giving you the real deal here. This is all 4 of them, and I also need to fix my clock, because it is now 9:47 p.m. in Tehran. So, 17 EAMs in 70 minutes is kicking ass. Charlie, have we beat that? Have we done more than 17 EAMs in 70 minutes ever? I mean, that's close to back to back. Yeah, and everybody get subscribed here. Thank you, KC. I wish everybody was like KC. I wouldn't have to worry about money every freaking day. Here we go.
Oscar, uniform, standby. India, 4, uniform, Alpha, Oscar, uniform, standby. India, 4, uniform, Alpha, Oscar, uniform, standby. Message follows. India, 4, uniform, Alpha, Oscar, uniform, Kilo, Mike, Juliet, Kilo, November, Charlie, Papa, Yankee, Kilo, Lima, India, 7, 5, 4, Quebec, India, 4, Romeo, Juliet, Sierra, Golf, 6, say again, 4, English Walnut, 4, English Walnut, India, 4, uniform, Alpha, Oscar, uniform, Kilo, Mike, Juliet, Kilo, November, Mike, Charlie, Papa, Yankee, Kilo, Lima, India, 7, 5, 4, Quebec, India, 4, Romeo, Juliet, Sierra, Golf, 6. This is creation out.
And English Walnut, I would think would be our British friends. You know, what they're doing, how they're doing it, where they're doing it, who they are, all that. I have not an airy clue. But a couple interesting things about the call. It's not 2 syllables. Okay, normally calls are 2 syllables. English Walnut is 3. And so Walnut, I would think, would be their call, but they are designating that they are our British friends and putting English on the front of it. Having been part of this for years, you start to pick up some of their methodology as to how they're doing things. Yes, we're getting to heavy traffic, that's for sure. We're at, what are we at, 23 for the day now? And 17 of them just in 1 hour, or a little over an hour. Let me turn that back down here so we're not deafening everybody. Also, I'm only picking up stuff on 8, 9, or 9 or 2. I don't know if they have a problem with the 11175 transmitter or not. We'll have to look into that. Thank you, Goat. $27, Charlie says. All right, well, we do one thing here. That's real news in real time. So appreciate that, Goat. We got to have guys like you and KC in here. Yeah, it sure looks like a lot of people in play. I need a goat sound. Yeah, but everybody would think it was a Muslim wife if I played it. So that's the problem with having a goat sound. Well, I appreciate that, Ann. I got a lot of people that say that they would do that. It's just getting them to do it. It's a different story. I just need a couple billionaires to tell me that. That'd be the thing. A couple billionaires say, I'll send you $1 million. It'd be a wonderful thing. Call signs are issued to units. So if it's just call letters like you normally hear, then that's a group. That's a unit. That's an organization that is established and does the same thing all the time. When you start hearing calls going out to English Walnut and names, not call letters, names, those are special organizations. Those are special units. Those are special forces. And that's why they have that special name and not a standard call letters. So if they call out a name and not numbers, names are special things. And it doesn't have to be special forces. A new defensive battery. Okay, so it's like a new THAAD, Theater Air Defense System. A new THAAD system put up could have a call name. A Marine patrol that's patrolling in a certain area for protective purposes, they could have a special name. A special warfare unit could have a special name. SF is Special Forces. We're there, and not to be confused with Special Ed. Sky King is really retired, and they just use that as a training model. Even though they're not supposed to, they still use it. me see something here. You got your cryons. Oh, there's a Marine here. Oh, good luck on getting Elon to invest in me. Elon hates my guts. Elon's the reason that I only have 1,600 followers on X. Elon has me shadow banned on X. So they have me shadow banned on YouTube. They have me shadow banned on X. They've got me shadow banned on Rumble. They shadow ban me every opportunity that they get. That's why I need you guys to share me out, because they won't. I mean, you know, when YouTube took me down, I had 74,000 subscribers. And then I got my channel back up. Well, if I had 74,000 subscribers and I get my channel back up, how come I only have 5,000 now? That's because those 74,000 subscribers haven't found me yet. Yeah, well, glad that they're showing it on your homepage. They demonetized our other one. An English walnut is also called a Persian nut. That's interesting. And see, that's the thing about these people that come up with these naming scenarios, is they will do stuff like that. They will do stuff like that. They will play with words. They will have multiple meanings in things. Thank you, Badger. So since Killswitch has these crayons, we know he won't go hungry. So get signed up, folks. If you have not, that's what keeps us on the air. Now that they have demonetized our other channel, we're going to need all the help we can get. That was our primary income. Now that Rumble has only paid us, it's ridiculous what Rumble gave us this month. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get. Anybody got a good mental health plan? These people are driving me crazy. Howdy, neighbor. Yes, they're goats. Yeah, sorry about your internet, Yorkie. Well, the good thing is, and we don't know when it's going to happen, but the good thing is they have told us that we are going to get a fiber ran here to the studio. The bad news is it's going to be about 10 grand. Thank you, Major. Appreciate it, Ann. So we're going to have to raise the funds for that fiber. However, the good thing about that fiber is we're going to be able to have more channels online, and we won't go down 5 times in a single day like we did the other day. We went down 5 times in a single day because the microwave carrier that we have couldn't keep their system online. Yeah, so the reason that they're charging us 10 grand is because we're outside of their service area. Their service area ends down the road. And the only people that will be on that service is us. And so they have to have a tunnel, or not a tunnel boring machine, but a boring machine come in and bore from their facility, from their last checkpoint. They have to bore from their up the road to get to our facility. So they have to bore under a road. They have to bore all the way up to our location. They have to put in a junction box at our location. And then they've got to trench. I want to say it's close to 200 and some feet. They've got to trench 200 and some feet to right from the local node to my location. So they've got to bore from there to here. They've got to put pipe under the ground from there to here. Then after they put the pipe under the ground, they got to run the fiber from there to here. And then they got to trench from there over to the building, and then they got to install into the building. So, yeah, it ain't cheap. Right. And we'll have a fixed IP. That's the other thing they're going to give us. We're going to get a fixed IP out of it, so all of our stuff can be behind our IP here. So we'll have a fixed IP, and that'll do other things for us on the on our units to help us out on having that fixed IP. So it's a big upgrade for us, because right now we only get anywhere from 600 to 800 megabit down, and anywhere from 60 to 110 megabit up. So that's going to really help us out to be able to have multiple 4K streams simultaneously. The goal is to have like 6 or 8 channels up and have different stuff on all of them all the time, and to stream continuously in 4K. That's our goal, is to be a 4K news outlet, because everybody loves our 4K content. So we want to be able to do the conflict in Iran, the conflict in Ukraine, the conflict in Venezuela. We want to do a nightly news broadcast on top of that. So we got big plans here. And then we also want to be able to host our own video conference call server here at the studio, as opposed to paying to host it in New York City. Because right now when you're taking a class from KLW on the roundtable, I'm paying 50 cents an hour for each of you that's in there. So conference calls are expensive. And so that's the deal we got worked out. So if we don't use it, we don't pay. If we do, there's still, let me rephrase that. There's still a fee to be on it, but it's that fee plus the usage fee. So we've got a couple plans to try to cut that back and change that, and we're going to look at those things. Thank you, Ontario. Appreciate it, buddy. If I can just have 1,000 people like you, then I'll have that fiber paid for. Yes, there have been, as far as I know, I'm not aware of more than 17 EAMs in 70 minutes. I think that's a record. I don't know that for sure, so don't quote me on it, but that's, if it ain't a record, it's pretty damn close. So, yeah, everybody go get signed up. It's $4 a month, $3 a month. You hit that dollar bill sign at the bottom. You can afford it more than I can. And the fact that they have demonetized our channel is going to put a real crimp in our style here. We were planning on making a bunch of trips. Thank you, Rex. We were planning on making a bunch of trips to different places across the U.S., but unless we can get the income back up, that ain't going to happen. Because we're so far behind. You don't have any clue. They have, when Rumble didn't demonetize us, they just started paying us 1% of what they were paying before. Okay. So, or 10% of what no, it's not 10%. Yeah, 10% of what they were paying us before. Sorry, my math's off. I haven't had my coffee yet. They're paying us 10% of what they were paying us before. So we were making it. We were able to pay all of our bills every month, and then they cut our income to 1/10. So if you can imagine your paycheck was $1,000 a week, and your boss said, "Well, we're going to cut you to $100 a week. You're going to do the same work. You're going to work just as many hours as you did before, but we're only going to pay you $100 a week." That don't work out real well. Yeah, it's what they have paid us is absolutely sickening. What they've done, absolutely sickening. After we put all of our eggs in their basket, not all of them, thank God, but a bunch of our eggs in their basket, and I'm going to show you here. So for all of our videos that we put out on Rumble over the last 30 days, they paid us $45.53. The problem with the $45.53 is we have to pay them $25 a month to be on our channel. So that means for putting out 456.74 view hours with 135,232 views and 455 new followers, 459 new followers, we made $20.53. Imagine that. $20.53 for a month. We got a rabbit in here. Let me check my rabbits. Speaking of that. I got a pregnant bunny. Well, thank you, Samantha. Appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, greatly appreciate it. I believe I may have 2 pregnant bunnies now. Oh, my puppy came in here. What are you doing? I see ya. Yep, I got 2 pregnant bunnies. Well, see, this could be the result of that chicken getting in there with the bunnies the other day. I mean, people wonder where Easter eggs come from, and well, now we know. All right, there. Oops. What's wrong with my? There they are, two pregnant bunnies. This one here loves digging in the ground, and she goes underground all the time, so she gets dirty. She's a white bunny, but that's dirt that gets on her coat because she likes going underground in her tunnel. Well, you didn't know that? That's where Easter eggs come from? Thank you much. Appreciate it. I don't know how the hell you pronounce that. I'm just going to tell you right now. Alan Burgle, or whatever that is. I know I mangled that. Dog, you don't have to chew on my hand. Really, you don't. It's not necessary. You can just sit there and I can rub your head. You do not have to chew my fingers off. There's nothing saying that you got to do that. I know you want to do it, but you don't have to. It's not necessary. You sold your bunnies. Yeah, well, we still got ours, and I'm going to be making Lee's. Oh, hold on a second. I got to tell my wife this. All right, and also, since we had this bad weather here with all of the ice and everything here in Texas, the rats that live out in the fields, field rats, field mice, have come into our barn. And so we've tried a variety of different things to get rid of them. Well, last night I dreamed up my own concoction as to how to get rid of these rats. And so I am going to teach you guys what I have learned last night and show you guys how to do it. I'm going to make a video, and this will take care of all rats and all mice. So it's going to be interesting. I'll show you guys that if you have a rat or a mouse problem in an outbuilding or anything anywhere else. And the great part about this is it is not toxic, and it will not hurt your animals, your chickens, anything else that eats it. It won't hurt them. It's only won't hurt coons either. Doesn't do anything to coons. This is made specifically to kill mice and rats, and is done without poisons. There's no poison in this at all. I can eat it. You can eat it. I can put it on a sandwich and eat it. It even tastes good. No, the cornbread doesn't work, Bender. Some of the rats won't eat the cornbread. I've already done that. I've got up here. Let me show you. You see that? That's a plate full of it. That is a box of cornbread mix and a box of this 50-50 like they say to do. The rats come down and taste it and they leave. Does not work. People claim it does. The only time that works is if there's nothing else for them to eat. But this is a granary. There's grain and all kinds of stuff all over for them to eat. They won't. They won't eat it. There's a plate full of it. And here's one of those tip lids. We put peanut butter on it to attract them on it. They stand on the edge and reach in and eat the peanut butter off of it. Don't even fall into it. That's been there for days. Not a single rat has fallen into that. So the tip lid doesn't work either. So I came up with my own concoction last night. I did research, and I'm going to teach you guys how to kill rats and mice. And they will eat this stuff up like you've never seen. And we're going to put up a camera and show it so you guys can sit there and watch them eat it. But I'm infested with rats now. I've got like 40 of them in my barn. I went from none to 40. I got 3 cats and they don't do a damn thing. The cats come in the barn, the rats hide in the holes. As soon as the cats leave the barn, the rats come right back out. Now, I don't want to be shooting an air rifle in my barn. I got stuff all over the place. I got saddles. I've got metal cans. I've got all kinds of stuff in my barn. I've got there's too much stuff for me to be shooting an air rifle in my barn. I got stuff everywhere. I got my wife's riding stuff is over here where the rats live, and then on the other side I got pressure washers. I got toolboxes. I got way too much stuff. I can't do that. So anyway, I've come up with my own concoction. So we're going to be showing you guys that as soon as I get that made. So thank you to everybody who has donated here this morning. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I could get a Jack Russell, but that means I got to have another dog. Yeah, I will let you guys know. No, it's not a sonic weapon. Sonic weapons don't work. That's the other thing. 80% of rats are not affected by sonic weapons. They are when it first starts, but after that they come right back to it. They get used to it. Well, Diesel, well, I don't have any C4. I told you it's non-toxic. It's not going to blow up, but it's going to end. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Israeli laser. Nope. It's this is something that you can make in your kitchen in 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So no C4. You got to have special licenses for C4. This is all stuff that you can get at your local grocery store. Hell, you could buy everything that I'm adding into this at a gas station. Very basic stuff. Somebody else give me $50. Who was that? Thank you, Erwing. Appreciate it. No, you can't use that. That's poison. And that'll kill your dogs. That'll kill your cats. That'll kill anything that drinks that. This is not poisonous. This is not poisonous. This is a unique way of doing this that I have come up with that I think will work beautifully, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make it. So I'm going to make it. I'm going to have my wife film me making it, and then we're going to take that, and then she's going to make a nice video out of it, and then we're going to upload it on the KLW World News once we see they won't eat the cornmeal. Yes, you can use it in your chicken house too. That's the great part about this. It will not hurt your chickens at all. It will not hurt chickens. It won't hurt birds. It won't hurt possums. See, we're really worried about the possums and stuff like that. It won't hurt anything like that. And we no pesticides and no chemicals. Our entire ranch is pesticide, herbicide. All of that is free. We don't use any poisons or any toxins on our property whatsoever. That's banned. It's prohibited. If you got a rodent problem or another problem, you got to come up with another way. But we don't use any poisons, any toxins, any of that stuff on our property. We're absolutely, positively, 100% against that. So we do not allow any herbicides. I just showed them a couple minutes ago. I'll show them again to you. I got to switch cameras here. They're in a different barn. I got two pregnant ones on the right there. There's two white ones right here. These two here are pregnant. And this one here has dug a big hole in the bottom of the pen, and she lives underground. That's why she's brown. She's dirty. But she's white just like the other two, but she's dug a hole in the ground under there. She loves it under there, and so she goes under there all the time and she gets dirty. Yeah, I got big wabbits. They're about 20 to 30 pounds a piece. So, anyway, I will, like I said, right, she wants a nest. She's got a nice nesting box, but she would rather dig underground. But anyway, when I get this done, I will show it to you. So I'm going to make it here. I just sent my wife to the store to get the parts. Yeah, I'd like to get another baby cam up to do that if we can. It's one of the other things. We want to do a dedicated critter cam, 24 hours a day. So we're going to have a critter cam 24 hours a day for the possums. We're going to have my wife doesn't like to be on camera. My wife despises being on camera. In fact, she said that she was going to do a show. She was going to do a religious show. She was going to do Bible study and scripture and so on and so forth. So we built another studio for her in her office. We put cameras in. We got microphones. We hooked up a computer. We got everything all set up. And she started videoing herself, and she can't stand it. She doesn't like how she looks on the camera. She doesn't like it. She's just too picky. She just can't stand it. So we tried for a month, and she wasn't happy with anything that she did. Well, you can't tell her that. You can tell her she's beautiful, but she don't think she is on camera. So she didn't like anything about it. She didn't like how the camera showed her hands. She didn't like how the camera showed her. She didn't like the lighting. She didn't like nothing about it. So she hates being on camera. So I have to, she comes in here every time she goes out there. You don't have the cameras on there, do you? So anyway. So that's why we're not. Well, Karen, I don't look in the mirror either. So I know I ain't getting any better looking, so it don't do me any good. Yep, well, we're going to fix the mice here and rats here, that's for sure. And the worst part about it is the rats are as big as squirrels. I mean, they're big. They're a lot fatter, but they're as long as squirrels. They're huge. I would expect to see rats like this in New York City, not in my barn. And again, we never had rats before, not a one. And when that ice storm came here a couple weeks ago, they moved in and they won't leave now. They're kind of like Somalis. You know how they are, right? It sure looks like they're running a daycare. They're eating me out of house and home. I've got a stack of empty feed bags. There's nothing in them, but they're empty. You know, but they still have the flavor and the smell in the bags, and the rats go get in those bags at night, and it sounds like people wrapping Christmas presents. There's so many rats moving around in that pile of bags. So I'm going to get rid of that pile of bags today. Then I got to work on my antenna. So I got a lot to do today. But I got a Christmas present for him. The noise you just heard is something that keyed up near the frequency. It's bleed. That's what that is. I just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We're dedicated to the truth here. And that's all we're trying to do is spread the truth. You know, we don't care what the truth is. That doesn't matter as long as it's the truth. You know, we're here just to share the truth. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, that doesn't make a bit of difference. As long as it's the truth. You can say, it's our policy here. You can say anything you want as long as it's the truth. So if you want to say my farts stink, well, I guess you can because it's the truth. But, you know, it is what it is. It's the truth. It doesn't matter whether you like it or whether you don't like it, you know.
You can't handle the truth.
Well, if that's the case, then you don't need to be here. You know, we just want to tell the truth. That's when we set this up, it was for one purpose and one purpose only, was to share the truth. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that you did. Thank God we're upwind from you. The circles on the bottom left-hand corner is from a Bombardier E-11A communications aircraft that was operating over the Caribbean overnight. And that's a relay aircraft for tactical military communications. So they're planning something. Because if they weren't planning something, they wouldn't be there and they wouldn't be doing that. You got to understand, the military and everybody else for that matter does everything for a reason. Our job is to figure out what that reason is. And things happen when there are anomalies. So we look for anomalies. Well, that was the truth. And you know what? He never come back anymore. My gun must have scared him. Well, something's going on. We had 17 EAMs in a little over an hour, so you can't say nothing going on there. Yeah, that dude's still running. Uh, Nose sprays? Yeah, I ain't touching no nose sprays. You ain't sticking that up my nose. Yeah, the pizza index is just one indicator. But now you can't use the pizza index on Super Bowl weekend, okay? That's not it's out of kilter on Super Bowl weekend. Same thing with 4th of July and other holidays and stuff like that. Well, if other channels only report 14 EAMs, that's because they didn't hear the others. We got them recorded, so you can go see them yourselves. I didn't hear the Russian buzzer. They do all kinds of stuff with the Russian buzzer, and people jam it and all kinds of stuff. I didn't hear it, though. So if you want to tell us where there's a link to it or something, we'll go look. That's right, DoCon 2. Correct, other channels are wrong. Almost sounded like Morse code. Where is that recording? Is there a recording of it somewhere? Somebody put up? Is it on X? You can share it with us on X. We'll go look at it, listen to it. I'll have Claude process it through the computer. Well, OSINT stands for oh shit, I'm not trained. So we don't use OSINT for anything except for a good laugh. Yeah, they say it's open source intel. The problem is that they read propaganda. And so with them reading propaganda, they take that in as intel. You know, you can't read RT. They'll read Pravda. No, I'm not pleased with our administration right now. Not at all. You know, there are reports of 80,000 dead people in Iran. This administration says we're on the way. That was weeks ago. Where are we? There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people being killed in Ukraine. Our administration treats Vladimir Zelensky like shit and gives the terrorist who's carrying out the attacks a red carpet welcome in Alaska. No, I am not happy with this administration at all. Yep, not happy at all. Yep, and that guy's still running. That boy ain't never ran that far or that fast in his life. He'll never forget that. The neighbor ladies won't either. They always wave and smile at me now when I go by. Kelly, I'm well aware of that. And it's actually worse when you're killing civilians because they're not armed. They're not combatants. You know, the Russians are killing almost as many civilians in Ukraine as they are soldiers. I don't think Europe has abandoned Ukraine. I just don't think Europe is stepping up and doing what they should. The reason there's solar storms is because the electromagnetic fields are going out of phase with each other and they fight. That's why you have Carrington events. Yeah, no, in a lot of wars, there's not as many civilians killed. With this war, the Russians are attacking civilian facilities. They are attacking apartment buildings. They are attacking shopping centers. They are attacking churches. They are attacking transportation hubs. That is direct targeting of civilian locations. Most countries don't do that. The U.S. doesn't target civilian locations. Okay, we target military locations and military infrastructures. So, yeah, that's all war crimes. You're absolutely right about that. The Russians are doing that. The Ukrainians are attacking Russian military installations. The Ukrainians are not attacking Russian apartment buildings. They're not attacking supermarkets. They're not attacking personnel transportation hubs. You know, it's right. Schools, hospitals, churches, maternity wards. Those are all things that the Russians are attacking basically on a daily basis. Nobody else is doing that. And it's flat out wrong, and this administration didn't do a dick about it. So I'm not happy with this administration at all. You know, they say they're going to do something, and then all they do is help the Russians. I mean, we've pulled back sanctions. They haven't done what they said. You know, this red line, that red line, and then they don't do a fucking thing. It's like the red lines turn invisible when they just walk right over them, and the U.S. doesn't do shit. I'm so disgusted with this administration. It's pathetic. And here I thought it was going to be better than the last one. It is in some ways, but in helping Ukraine, it's surely not. This administration is pro-Russian. Bill Clinton bombed Kosovo a day before Columbine, massacred hundreds of kids, died. Where do you get that? I was in Kosovo, so you better have a good source for that. Yeah, I was at the Blue Factory in Kosovo. Well, let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
So somebody reported, and I'm going to read it here to you. So give me one moment while I look for it here.
No rush.
They said that Bill Clinton bombed Kosovo a day before Columbine massacre, and that the bombing from Bill Clinton in Kosovo killed hundreds of kids. Do you have any report of that?
Let me think for a second. The NATO bombing campaign over Kosovo did start on March 24th, 1999. That's about 5 months after Columbine, not before.
Oh.
Columbine happened.
All right, keep going. So it was 5 months after Columbine, not the day before. So that's the first part of the story that's wrong. Keep going.
Right. Now, about those civilian deaths. Yes, the campaign lasted 78 days, and mistakes did happen. One of the worst was the bombing of a refugee convoy near Jakovica on April 23rd, 3 days after Columbine. 47 ethnic Albanians killed, most of them women and children. Heartbreaking. But again, no direct link to the school shooting. Whoever wrote that must have mixed up dates or outright twisted them.
Right, no, but the fact is, hundreds of children were not killed in Kosovo, correct?
No, that's not quite accurate. While exact numbers are disputed, both by NATO and Yugoslav authorities, the UN's Human Rights Commission put civilian deaths at about 500, out of which a significant portion were kids. Not hundreds, maybe, but still far too many.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. So you're wrong, dude. Yeah, there you go. Oh, my lunch has arrived, so y'all gonna have to wait a minute. Well, it's a quick and easy way to make an ass out of yourself is show up here with false information. All right, TNG. So since your facts end up being bullshit, you're gone. Do we have any more idiots that want to put out false information in the chat? I got to get Razor to add that to the soundboard. I mean, that's just perfect. Well, one thing I've learned about idiots in Florida is most of them are from somewhere else. Talks between Putin and Zelensky are only possible in Moscow, Kremlin spokesperson says. That ain't going to happen. Revealed how Russian spies are stalking the Norfolk coast and droning air bases as new laws state troops can shoot down enemy aircraft. That's a great thing. Glad to hear that. A Minnesota auditor reports has dropped, confirming Tim Walt's Department of Human Services created false records, failed to verify grant recipients, and attempted to cover its tracks, paving the way for widespread fraud. Gee, no wonder Tim is not running for re-election. He should be running to his lawyer's office.
Bunch of assholes, they need to get fucked.
Oh, wow. These people were.
Oh, yeah, dude, we gotta go support Renee Good's family.
That one has to stay there.
Yeah, okay. 1 to 3.
That one doesn't stick.
Yeah, see you down there.
You're
This guy's
live a life of
dickhead.
a.
That was you next to me, no?
Aha! Ow! Damn it!
Sticks!
Why is that?
Because ICE likes to bend over for Daddy Trump, and they like to take it in the ass. So, you know, Daddy Trump's not here in Minnesota, so why not bring the cocks to them?
Yeah. And if you want to throw an ice at Dick or tell ICE that your dick is bigger than theirs, you gotta have one of these.
Well, see what those cocksuckers are up to now. I mean, this is absolutely insanity, but oh well. If you're going to be a dickhead, I guess there's no better place to do it than Minnesota. Where do you get that churches that talk bad about Trump will get their tax-free status taken away? Where does that come from? Can you show me that document from the IRS? Well, let's do a little bit of background check here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
So, are you aware of a new tax that says that if you are a church and you speak negatively about Donald Trump, that your tax exempt status will be taken away? Have you heard that?
Checking that claim right now. No, there's no new tax or rule like that. Actually, it's the opposite of what's happening. The Johnson Amendment is still the law. It bans tax-exempt churches and other 501c3s from endorsing or opposing political candidates, or they'd risk losing that status. But last year, in 2025, the IRS carved out a narrow exemption, allowing churches to endorse candidates directly to their own congregations during services, basically loosening things for pro-candidate speech, not cracking down on criticism. What you're probably hearing about is from Trump's speech at the National Prayer Breakfast just a few days ago, on February 5th. He boasted about getting rid of the Johnson Amendment and giving churches more freedom to speak politically. Then he joked, "Now, if you do say something bad about Trump, I will change my mind and I will have your tax-exempt status immediately revoked." The audience laughed. It was clearly a quip, not a real policy announcement. No actual new tax or revocation rule for negative comments about him exists. He can't unilaterally do that anyway, as it would need Congress or a major legal shift. So, short answer, no threat to churches for criticizing Trump. If anything, the recent moves favor more political freedom for them, not less.
So
Where'd you hear this one?
this is a good reason why you shouldn't listen to the Drudge Report, because the Drudge Report's the one that reported it.
Checking if Drudge actually reported that. Or push that story as some new tax targeting churches for criticizing Trump. From what I can see, their front page right now, as of today, February 8th, is all over Super Bowl stuff. Some Epstein files, weather chaos, and general Trump-related headlines, but nothing on churches, tax-exempt status, or revoking it for bad-mouthing him. The whole thing stems from Trump's own joke at the National Prayer Breakfast a few days back.
All right, so
He
the whole
bragged
thing
about
was a
getting-
joke. It's not real, and anybody that thinks that is taking it out of context.
Exactly. It was a throwaway line, meant to get laughs, not policy. People running with it as Trump's new church crackdown are either misunderstanding or deliberately misreporting.
All right,
Jokes don't become
thank you.
laws.
Yep, there you go. Or you could go back up in the chat and see. Yeah, folks, again, you can definitely hear the Kentucky and Lee's voice. I'm not from Kentucky. The fuck are you talking about? I mean, you think I'm from Kentucky?
What are you people? On dope?
Hey, Colin Quill, I'm starting to worry about you. First, you come in here and you claim Drudge Report says that Trump said he's going to remove the tax exempt status of churches that talk bad about him, which he can't do that. I'd be all over that if he said it. And then you claim I'm from Kentucky. You're wrong on both accounts. I'm not from Kentucky, and Trump didn't say that. It was a joke. You think I'm from Kentucky? You think that's Kentucky, you say? I sound like I'm from Kentucky. Well, I don't reckon I'm from Kentucky. I could probably sound like I'm from Kentucky, but I doubt I'm really from Kentucky. They got it pretty distinct how they talk down there. I don't think I quite sound like that, do you? Kentucky. Who knew I was from Kentucky? Y'all reckon? I don't think I'm from Kentucky. Kentucky. I don't sound like I'm from Kentucky neither. Skeeter. That's right, I'm gonna get a copyright strike from Kentucky. I keep talking like this. I love accent too. I put it on my chicken. Kentucky, he said. No, I don't think so. You need a banjo. No, I'm not from West by God, Virginia, but I'm from Western Virginia. It's close to West by God. It's about as close to West by God as you can get. I was married in West Virginia, though. Now, it don't sound like Texas. Texas is more drawled out, you see. They talk a little slower. That's right. West Virginia is west of Virginia. That's right. Everything's bigger in Texas. I even got bigger in Texas. No, I ain't from Bastrop. Well, Amish. We got Mennonites and Amish in Virginia. America. That's Texas right there, America. It ain't gonna happen. All right, so we're gonna keep monitoring all this. It's a little busy here today.
Bomb, 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 Iran.
Well, we got 1 hour until the roundtable, folks. 1 hour. Your dad has Amish neighbors. Next thing you know, we're going to say his neighbors hung like a... Thank you, Pinkerton. What was that? What you? Were you trying to say that you wanted to have a horse? Do you? I'm not sure what you're saying there. That doesn't have anything to do with your previous fornication comment. Can you elaborate there? And I don't normally do a horse sound, and people come in here and say, "Would you fornicate me?" Especially after. I mean, that would imply that you want to take it in the... Or even...
Up your shaft.
So I'm a little lost here. We are all adults here. I'm just not understanding what you're trying to say. Well, I mean, what was the purpose for the comment is what it has nothing to do with the comment. We're trying to figure out why you said that you wanted to...
Up your shaft.
Well, no, YouTube makes us look bad for that. So, well, you said to screw you, go back and look at your comment. I'm just trying to answer. Oh. Okay, we're just, yeah, all I saw was give it to me. Yeah, there is one. Where did that go here? This is what you said. So that's the quote. I just took it straight from there. So we were just trying to understand why you had said that. I was just a little concerned there. I didn't see that before that. All I saw was that. I look up and it says, and I was just trying to inquire as to why you wanted
Up your shaft.
So I got it now. But, you know, you got to understand, when I just look up in the chat and I see
Up your shaft.
I was trying to figure out why. Because, I mean, really, most people don't want it.
Up your shaft.
Especially when we were talking about things like, you know, that I would think you'd be the governor of Minnesota if that was the case. Yeah, roger that. I was just asking. Again, I didn't get the whole conversation there. I just got. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We did too. And we're just poking at you, not trying to, well, literally.
Up your shaft.
Because I'm not really a
Up your shaft.
kind of guy. Yeah, we're not that kind of show. Our theme song is not YMCA or Why Not Be Gay or whatever this, however the song goes. Yeah, and actually, would they sing the song YMCA? You need to change the lyrics to Why Not Be Gay. It makes a whole lot more sense when you do that. Would you say penis trading humor or penetrating humor? All right, just 50 more minutes of this, folks, till we got to do our class. AIDS. That's a anal injected death sentence, isn't it? You get that by people going
Up your shaft.
I mean, it's really, you shouldn't let people go
Up your shaft.
Although there are people who like to take it
Up your shaft.
but they don't normally follow our channel. They're from like the Enforcer channel, or they watch Lookner. What do you mean you take it at face value? It was a joke. Are you really telling me that you didn't get the joke? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you didn't hear about the Chinese aircraft video? Well, so what if Trump is in the Epstein files? So are hundreds of Democrats. What difference is that? And what you also have to understand is after the fact that Epstein was convicted, there is no more information about Trump. And I'm not protecting Trump. Where the fuck do you get that I'm doing that? Rob, you got to be a fucking idiot to think that I protect Trump. You're a fucking idiot. What an idiot. Go back to your 9 videos and 7 subscribers, dude. You haven't got a fucking clue what you're talking about. Yeah, dude comes in here and thinks I'm protecting Trump. If you'd have been here 15 minutes ago, you'd have heard me bashing Trump. If you'd have been on the news broadcast on Friday night, you would have heard me bashing Trump. This is absolutely insane. The stupid people are coming in here today. I'm just telling the truth. Whether people like it or not, I don't care. I'm here to tell the truth. A lot of people want to hear the truth and want to know the truth, and I'm going to tell you the truth. What an idiot. Rob Breyer. Well, you have won the award, buddy. Yeah, there you go, Rob. Yeah, Rob was in here. Wow, Rob, you stepped in that one. Have you ever heard of hoof and mouth disease? Because you're afflicted with it. You just put your foot in your mouth, that's for sure. Yeah, go watch Fulmer. That's exactly right. So somebody said that they wanted to see the Chinese video or about quack in the Korea. So let me see if I can find that.
Oh, you tell us how many aircraft carrier you have in China. You see, the aircraft carrier you have is all Russian junk. It barely float, smoke like big fire. You see for a long way. Is this a joke? We have hypersonic missile. You launch rocket fall on people in China, burn down village, province. People die. You are possible psychopath homosexual. China have 2 carrier. 1 old rusty junk. 2 have no working capital. Fucking sucky 2 yen. Come on, you tell us. You tell us now. You have sheep with no capital airplane. How stupid you be. Very. You panda. You dumber than panda. You claim China superpower. China sell junk. China no work carrier. We don't think we win war with China. We know. You tell me what you do in Wuhan. You have bats in Wuhan. You eat bat in Wuhan. You got fried rice. You give me fried rice with beef. Huh? Fried rice with beef. You know me. English, CCP. English. You know no English. You know no English no more. You know be here no more. No English. Say bye bye. You don't tell me whatever. You don't tell me airplane who lost from carrier. What airplane China got? You from Shenzhen? Yeah, I do power Shenzhen. No, China buy product for me. I no buy from Shenzhen. Shenzhen buy from me. Shenzhen pay me. Shenzhen say I smart. Shenzhen say I right. Shenzhen do what I say. You got a quack in your carrier because you use cheap China metal. Aircraft carrier. Metal no thick. Beams no thick. Seams no thick. Aircraft carrier too big, too white. It quack. The quack in top of aircraft carrier. You can't fire hypersonic missile. All missile hypersonic, stupid Chinese. We don't worry about your hypersonic. It hype. Hype. About your hypersonic. You understand hype? Like your new name, Hung Chao. China cannot support aircraft carrier. It got to stay in Red China Sea. China people don't want war. We want peace, what you say. But you just said China be superpower. China have planned to attack U.S. You know, I know. You know, tell me, you peace, you want to attack U.S. Huh? How you peace? You want to attack U.S. We know you want to attack U.S. We wait for you to attack U.S. We kill you when you come to U.S. You claim you come in peace. You like U.S. government. We are here to help. You lie. You lie. Hong Zhao, stay where you are. You don't tell us where to go. China, see, international water. It don't belong to China. International water. You know international water. You see your fake map. We know you have fake map. What aircraft China ever make better than America? Never. China junk. You know. We know. Without America, China nothing. Clinton saved China. They call it South China Sea because it is south of China. Real smart. Just like they call West Virginia. Why they call it West Virginia? Because it is west of Virginia. And North Dakota because it is north of South Dakota. And South Dakota because it is south of North Dakota. You don't tell me South China Sea. The Black Sea. They name it black. Is that because the Black Sea belong to black people? You tell me this? No. You say South China Sea. It's south of China. But I say North Dakota, South Dakota, West Virginia. Black Sea. Dead Sea. That belong to dead people because it's a Dead Sea. Dead Sea. See, it's dead. Bye. Fucking sucking 2 yen. Me too smart for you. I forget more than you ever know. I'm sorry, Hong Chao. I have no more time for you. I have show to do and educate you. You should go to school. If you have been to school, you need to get your money back. Bye! Fucking sucky 2 yen.
You have quack and you'll kill ya. Big quack. Big whack whack. And you'll kill ya. It won't get no better than this. No in China. Cheap metal. Made from China. All right, folks, we got just 40 more minutes of this until we break this up and do our class this afternoon. Okay, we thought the tears were from the but okay. Yes, classes are only for KLW World News members. I'm not rich enough to give free classes out. I'll be back.
Get to the chopper!
Why do I want to share my running in socks? That was, I mean, everybody, that's, now everybody wants KLW World News tactical socks. No, it's not true that China has a laser that will knock down Starlink. That is, yeah, no. It's a lie. Well, since you persist, so several years ago at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was getting ready to take a shower. And so I had stripped down to everything except for my socks. And so before I jumped into the shower, I wanted to make sure that everything was going right on the stream. And when I walked back into the studio, the surveillance camera picked up somebody trying to get into my vehicle. Well, me not being one to be worried about my attire, I ran out the front door of the studio wearing nothing but a smile and a pair of KLW World News tactical dress socks. And I confronted the individual wearing nothing but my KLW World News socks, smile on my face, and, well, my personal gun. Said burglar turned around, saw me standing there wearing nothing but my KLW World News tactical socks and a smile on my face when I confronted him. And he ran like somebody was trying to stick something
Up your shaft.
I proceeded to chase said burglar, wearing nothing more than my KLW World News tactical socks. And the individual fled for his life. To this day, it is reported that he is still running. Now, the interesting part is all of the neighbor ladies smile and wave at me now. But that burglar has not been back since. In fact, we think that he has given up his life of crime because to this day, he has never been chased by a naked man other than me, most likely. Well, I wasn't totally naked. I was wearing my KLW World News tactical socks. Now, we have video proof of this. We showed an excerpt of it. Oh, yeah. We can prove it. There's video proof of it. No doubt about it. In fact, I still have video proof of it. I was going through that yesterday. So, yeah, come hell, high water, or KLW World News tactical socks, I will engage said adversaries. So, I think he was embarrassed, quite honest. But he ran. I don't think he ever thought that a naked man would come out to confront him, but sure enough. Yeah, there's video of it. We should. I captured frames from the incident, and there is one of the frames incident where you can see that the only thing that I have on is KLW World News tactical socks. So we've got video proof of it. I captured frames to show people that they didn't believe me, and I was like, well, you don't believe me? Here, let me show you something. And you can see the guy in the video, and you can see me in the video. It is. So, yeah, I think the gun scared him. Really, I do. I think that's what it was. And then the fact that I went after him. Yeah, well, people have said that they wanted to buy KLW World News tactical socks for years. That's where that came from. Is the KLW World News tactical socks. It was my personal weapon. No, I was just wearing two socks. I think that's what scared him. Yeah, kind of like a 70s flick, I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch too many of them. But he never came back. He just, and from what we figured, he just didn't want to have anything to do with them KLW World News tactical stocks. That's right. This is my rifle and this is my gun. He's cured, all right. That's right. These are bedtime stories for the kids, for the grandkids. Well, we were going to show it to him, all right. He probably had a hard time believing I could run with that thing. But no, I think that if the 2 socks was adequate. It wasn't cold that night, so. Yeah, I see. I probably should have an adult only channel for some of these stories. Oh, they were sharing the Ring camera video around town, I'm sure. No, I got dressed before the cops got there. I didn't want to embarrass them. I mean, you know how cops are if you say my gun's bigger than yours. So needless to say, we don't have burglars anymore. In fact, that shut down burglary in the community for good. There was no more burglaries anywhere. Once they found out that guy with those tactical socks was on the loose, y'all better look out. So if you want crime to stop in your city, just have me show up in tactical socks. Crime rate will drop to basically 0. Lucky I don't live in Minnesota. I'd be charged with harassment. I would have thought all those guys would have been following me home. No, I wouldn't have gotten locked out. I'm sure one of the neighbors would let me in. All right, so do we have any more questions here? All right. Well, if we ever find anybody that can make those KLW World News tactical socks for us, we'll let you know. I'm sure some of you do want KLW World News tactical socks. Well, you're right, Sig. And some of the people were smoking afterwards. The police did say it was the first time they'd seen so many people smoking after an attempted robbery. All right, well, I got to be live in half an hour. So I'm going to leave the stream here. I'm going to leave the stream up. I got to go take a shower. You did miss some mugs, and you can still order mugs. You can send an email to runninghorse6393@gmail.com. That's runninghorse6393@gmail.com. We'll put you on the list. We're going to order more mugs. What was that? Happy Gluteus Maximus. All right, if you want to get a mug, that's the email address to get a mug. All right, I'll be back.
All right, folks, I'm setting up the round table here in the background. Yeah, folks, I'm in the process of setting up the stream for the round table. Members only. Link to the radio roundtable on Rumble is in the all call. All right, folks, that's going to end it for here. We've got to do our roundtable. Thanks for joining us.
That's all, folks.
Link to the radio roundtable conference call is in the all call.
Hey Buzz, disable your microphone.
Trying to.
Thank you.
All stations, this is creation, break. 4, Dutchy, 4-3. 4, Dutchy, 4-3. India, 4, 3, 4. Kilo, Lima, stand by. India, 4, 3, 4. Kilo, Lima, stand by. India, 4, 3, 4. Kilo, Lima, stand by. Message follows. India.
All right, somebody's in here as fellow Jitster. You need to go into the chat and put your name in, or I'm going to kick you out. You have to put your name in.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Off, Romeo, Tango, Tango, 4, Tango, Whiskey, Juliet, Hotel, Mike, Uniform, Tango, 6, 2, 2, Uniform, Romeo, 5.
All right, I asked you to enter your name. You didn't do it. I'm going to kick you out. Enter it when you come back.
India, Romeo, I say again, 4, Dutchy, 4-3, 4, Dutchy, 4-3, India, 4, 3, 4, Kilo, Lima, Foxtrot, Romeo, Golf, Romeo, Tango, Tango, 4, Tango, Whiskey, Juliet, Hotel, Mike, Uniform, Tango, 6, 2, 2, Uniform, Romeo, 5, Echo, Tango, India, Romeo, this is creation, go.
Boy, the meeting's going to hell. Doc Savage just showed up. Wow, this looks like it's going to be a big one. We got 74 in, or excuse me, 47 in here and 82 in the round table on Rumble.